Hello and welcome to the Stories of Country Music. Today we're going to be looking at new music by Clay Walker with his album that came out last year called Texas to Tennessee. Of course, Clay Walker hit the country music scene in 1993. The first two singles he released both went straight to number one. The first one was What's It to You? And the second one was Live Until I Die. His next album produced even more number ones, and he finished the primary part of his career with 6 Billboard number one hits, and he put out music consistently for almost 20 years from about 1993 to 2012. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Clay Walker's music and biography, I have a couple of videos in the Clay Walker playlist, which I'll link to in the video description below. Talks about his life before he was famous. I have a video about when he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at the age of 26 and was given a death sentence by the doctor, telling him he would be dead by his early 30s. You'll definitely want to catch up on that story. Check out the video description below, or the video link in the description below. Now, he did step aside from putting out music for a while, Clay did, but he did come out with new music in 2019 with his album called Long Live the Cowboy. And then, like I said, last year he put out a new album called Texas to Tennessee, and it's got some pretty good music to it. It has my ear. I've listened to it several times. Now, one thing I like about this is Clay is a songwriter. That's how he started. So he co-wrote every song on this album, which is pretty cool. And they released a single called Need a Bar Sometimes to radio. They did a music video with it. It got some airplay. And so Clay was very happy with that. That single is also on this album. And then another song I really like on this album that I have listened to this song over and over and over is called Catching Up with an Old Memory. And I would advise you and encourage you to check that one out. I think you'll like that song as well. But today we're going to look at the title track called Texas to Tennessee. But before we start, if you don't mind, please like this video, subscribe to the Stories of Country Music YouTube channel. That way you'll get notified as we put out new videos. All right, y'all, here we go. Clay Walker, Texas to Tennessee.
Looking back, who would have guessed? Gotta say I'm pretty blessed.
Now, one thing I like about this song is it sounds very much like Clay Walker right when you hear his voice. The other song they put out on radio, Need a Bar Sometimes, you can tell it was produced to be a radio single. Kind of has that modern country production sound. And I wouldn't have known it was Clay Walker from the voice immediately unless I had known I was listening to Clay Walker. I don't have this problem with this song. First syllable, first couple of notes coming from Clay Walker's voice, you know immediately who it is singing. It's exactly Clay Walker, no doubt.
I was thinking just the other day, could have gone either way. I'm amazed at what God does, 'cause for a while there I was, just a lone star in the sky, till you walked into my life. Without you, girl, no telling where I'd be.
How smooth is that? What a smooth voice.
Through a million twists and turns, and 1,000 lessons learned. It's been one long road from Texas to Tennessee.
I didn't want to interrupt that chorus because it's great, but that steel guitar is amazing. You can just hear this. It's got the country sound of a couple of decades ago when he was making great music himself. And that's one thing I love about this particular song, Texas to Tennessee. And his voice is so smooth. I've listened to a few podcasts by Clay Walker recently, and he talks a lot about how much time he puts into his voice, how much care he puts into his voice, how much he pays attention to his voice, how much even as a distinguished singer like he is, an accomplished singer, how much time he spends maintaining his voice. And he's just got an excellent, excellent sounding voice. I love his voice.
Every step, every storm, you were there like a brand new dawn, showing me your love and grace, even on my darkest days. I'm a better man for sure than the man I was before. Just a lone star in the sky till you walked into my life.
That's so good.
Without you, girl, no telling where I'd be. Through a million
That's
twists
great.
and turns,
Great.
and 1,000 lessons learned. It's been one long road from Texas to Tennessee.
It's good.
And 1,000 lessons learned. It's been one long road from Texas to Tennessee.
Yes.
Been one hell of a road from Texas to Tennessee.
Ah, yeah. That's what it is. That's great. That's great. Love it. Okay, so I'm a little biased. This boy needed that song right here today. That song sounds so good. I would say there's no music better. This is my personal opinion, of course. No music better than 1990s to early 2000s country music. Now, there's music that I like as much, but there's no music that I like better than that range of country music right there. So Clay Walker, well, that song right there just took me back about 20 years, and I love that song. Check out his album, Texas to Tennessee. There's several good songs on there. I think you'll enjoy the album quite a bit, especially if you're a fan of Clay Walker and country music a couple of decades ago. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Please like and subscribe if you don't mind. That way you'll get notified next time we put out a new video, and hopefully that'll be pretty soon. All right. Y'all take care.